In the last video, we created a program that is meant for a guess number program that will generate a number, and it will ask the user of the program to guess the number that has been generated, and the user will go through the process of trying to get the number, and the program further guide the program by specifying to him whether that the number he guessed, that is if he didn't get it right at the first attempt, whether the number is too high or it is too low. Now, in this problem, it's a modification to the program that we scripted in the last video, in the last lecture. It says get the number modification. We should modify the guess number program to count the number of guesses the player makes. If the number is 10 or fewer, print either you know the secret or you got lucky. If the player gets the number in 10 tries, then print aha, you know the secret. And if the player makes more than 10 guesses, then print you should be able to do better. So that is how the program, just a little modification to the last program that we scripted. And so what I'm going to do, I'll just go over to the file that we created last. So I'm just copy the solutions and then make the necessary modification to it in this particular lecture. So I'm just copy this, everything, copy it, and come over here and paste it. So let me close this one. Okay, then let's go back again and see what we are required to make. It says we should modify the guess number to count the number of guesses the player makes. Now we need to create a variable that will keep track of the number of the guesses the player makes. So I will just go over here at the program. We know the function guess game. That is where the actual guessing is being carried out. Function main just invoke this particular function. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it int guess counter. And I'm going to initialize it with the value 0. Then I will just go down the code. Anywhere that the user is required to make a guess, then I'm going to increment the guess counter. So scanf, here we have the user is going to enter a value here. So I'm going to increment the guess counter. Increment it here. Then we have this where the user is going to enter an input here again. So I'm going to increment the counter here as well. Guess counter. I'm going to increment it here as well. Then we have scanf response. Also, we get the number. Would you like to play again? Okay, but this is not a guess, so I'm not going to increment the counter here. So those are those places that the user make guesses, and the guess counter will keep track of the number of guesses. Now let's go back to the question. It says if the number is 10 or fewer, then print either you know the secret or you got lucky. Okay, so we should go to the place where the user make the correct guess. Now if response equals to guess, then that is where we are required to make those statements. So excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? Okay, will you like to play again? Yes, excellent, you get the number. Will you like to play again? You get the number. All right, so this is where we are in this particular line number 66 in this particular if block. That is where we are going to make this for something. So if the number is 10 or fewer, print either you know the secret or you got lucky. All right, so now I'm going to make my if condition here. I'm going to ask if guess counter is less than 10, then we are going to print out something because it says modify the guess number program to count the number of guesses. If the number is 10 or fewer, print either you know the secret or you got lucky. Either you know the secret or you got lucky. So let me just copy it. Then I'll go down. If guess counter is less than 10, then we are required to make that particular statement. So we say print format. All right, so here we are. Yes. going to make that particular statement. Either you know the secret or you got lucky. All right, and then end if. Then the other one, it says if the player gets the number in 10 tries, then print aha, you know the secret. So in 10 tries, we should print this particular statement. So in 10 tries, and then in 10 tries and if, then we should have another else if, another condition, else if guess counter is equivalent to 10. That is, if you make the guess in 10 tries, then we should print this print format. Close it here. Then we have this. Then we have this. Either you know the script or you got lucky. So we have a new line. New line. Then we have the third statement to make if it is more than 10. Then if player make more than 10 guesses, then he should be able to do better. So let's copy this, and we have the else part in the other, in the if we have so in the else if bismillah so and else if, then we have else, then we are going to print this particular statement here. Okay, so I have this. You should be able to do better. Should be able to do better. All right, so let me add my little format in here. Likewise. All right, I should be able to do better. That is when in more than 10 tries. And then all right, either you know the secret or you got lucky. And then we have also a new line here. And then before finally we and if and else, then before finally this particular message, line number 87 is being printed. Is it 86? Line number 86 is being printed out to the user, notify him that he has correctly guessed the number correctly. All right, so let's run this program and see how whether we were able to get the right whether we're able to get it right, and if there's any error we fix the error. So I'll just come over here, and I'm going to come over here. Let me clear the terminal. I'm going to compile the GCC modified number guess. I'll put it as modified number guess only, so there's not any error. So now modified number guess, I'll run it. I have a number between 1 and 1000. Can you guess my number? Please type your first guess. So let me follow my first guess be 400. Too low, try again. So let me go for 600. Too high, then let me go combo down to 500. Too high, then let me come for 450. Too low, then let me go for 460. Too high, then let me go for 455. Too low, okay, so let me go for 456. 457. 458. 459. Aha, you know the script. So I've been able to make the guess less than 10 tries. Let me see how many. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 9. All right. So let me make a further modification so that it will tell us how many tries, in how many tries we have been able to guess the correct number, so that I don't need to count it manually like that. So let me add a 0 and exit the program. So let me go back. This is my little addition to the guess. So let me just come over here. Excellent, you get the number. Would you like to play again? You should be able to okay. Number of guesses. Okay, let me just here, let me put something here to main terminator, and then let me have another printf here, print format, and then we have this. Excellent, you get the number. A number of guess, you get the number, and number of guesses, number of tries, and then we have our guess counter, so we have this in dash number of tries, so it will tell us the number of tries that the user makes, and then we have this particular message printed out. Will you like to play again? So we have this, and then we have so we have this. Will you like to play again? So all right, excellent, you get the number in dash number of tries. Then a new line. Will you like to play again? Then all right, so let me go back and recompile the program and then see whether the what we fix. There is an error in dash number of guesses. Okay, yes. All right, line number 86. The number of arguments supplied to the print format is more than the required number, more than the specified number of the argument, more than the number of argument that has been defined in the function prototype of print format. So let me go back and recompile it again. Clear the terminal. All right, so let me run the program now and see. Modified, guess the number. Please type your first guess. The first guess is 500. Too high. Let me go down to 400. Too high. Let me go to 300. Too high. Let me come to 200. Too low. Let me go on to 250. Too high. Okay, so that means the number is between 200 to 250. So let me come down to 240. Too low. Okay, 245. Too low. 24. Okay. Okay, number again 250. Okay, 242. Okay, 246. Aha. So you know the secret. I got lucky. Excellent. You get the number in 8 number of tries. As we can see, I got in 8 number of tries. So this program we have successfully make modification to the guess number program to print further message to show us how many number of guesses we have been able to get the number correctly, and a positive feedback when we make a fewer number of tries. So thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Until we meet again in the next video.